Welcome to A Drop of Happy, where we focus on carefree, stress well, light and lively living while loving and reviewing entertainment art tidbits. I am your host, Wanda Toby. And this is just my journey to trying to keep it together and helping y'all keep it together. Do I have some credentials? A little bit. I'm a certified rehab counselor. I'm a registered nurse. I have like 20 something years of experience in healthcare field. And the most thing that connects all this is that I have seen how stress plays a part in every part of your life and changing the narrative on on stress and helping us use what we've got to manage what we've got going on. That's my thing. Not trying to reinvent the wheel or anything like that. And I believe creativity and tapping into that really does help. And there's science and research and all that good stuff out there to back it up. So this is just me, on a journey together. And I always like to start my ramblings with one of three things. Either a stress management tip, a journal prompt, because journaling is everything, or an affirmation, which all collectively, or separately actually, really help to keep us grounded, get us all together, and at least think about stress management and all that good stuff. So I will do a tip today, and the tip is read. That sounds terrible. The tip is breathe and read. I wrote finally, because you know what would help me manage some stress? You know what would help me in that? What would help a lot of people? What we all struggle with is consistency. Whew, y'all gonna hear me say this like all the time. Consistency is a bitch. But with that being said, I did actually write a blog post. And just a reminder, A Drop of Happy is the podcast arm to my blog, lightv.com. Please take some time to check it out, lightv.com, pass it on and all that good stuff. But I did finally write a post, and it is about the 7 benefits of reading. So even if, like, you're not a big reader, there's so much that you can get out of it. Like, even if you commit to reading for 10 minutes, and preferably an actual paper book. But if you're like have an electronic reader or anything like that, that works too. But especially if you're getting started, if you are just getting started, please, a paper book or like a real short something. Yeah, because I'm just going to do it real quick. I didn't even go into detail, but the benefits: stress reduction, in no particular order. Okay. If you do a quick Google search, you will find these top 7 benefits. Again, in no particular order, and I'm not even going to go into them. I'm just going to list them. Stress reduction, improved memory, increased knowledge, empathy, improved focus, increased imagination and creativity. And you know, I'm all about the imagination and creativity, and boost cognitive function. So, breathe and read. That is the tip. That is it. That is all. So what is this show? What is this about? And honestly, this is going to probably have to be 2 parts because, it's a long list. A couple of years ago, when was this? Let's see when they put this out. 2022. 2022, Looper put out an article, 98 best sci-fi movies of all time ranked. And I want to talk about it because I love sci-fi. I like to think of myself as a sci-fi head, a sci-fi geek, which now I'm starting to doubt because there's a lot that I don't know on this list, but we probably going to have part 2, 3, and 4 because it's a long list and I want to talk about some of these things. But I'm just going to jump right into it because 98, they have Zardoz. Zardoz. I don't know what that is. Oh, I don't know what that is, but I'm gonna tell you when they say it came out. Oh, it's with Sean Connery, Charlotte Rampling, Sarah Kesselman in 1974. So yeah, I wasn't born then. Rotten Tomatoes, it has a score of 47% and no idea what it's about, but it's a big floating head. I didn't see it. So we're moving on. 97. Nausicaä of the Valley of the Wind. Looks like an anime. Haven't seen it. Long after World War had devastated the earth, pockets of human civilization still remain on the land, left unspoiled by the toxic jungle, blah, 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 blah. 1984. Didn't see it. The Mitchells versus the Machine. That was 97. This is 96. The Mitchells versus the Machine. All right. I didn't see that either. When did this come out? This came out in 2021. It is Maya Rudolph is in there, Danny McBride and Abby Jacobson. And it is a animated film. I don't even remember seeing previews for this. So Katie versus the Machines. Couldn't tell you. Okay. 95 is Demolition Man. I actually did see Demolition Man. Do I remember anything about Demolition Man? Not really. Did I hate Demolition Man? No. Wesley Snipes has been there with his blonde hair. Okay, but I'm going to tell you, John Spartan is a wrecking ball of an LA cop engaged in a tireless pursuit of the extravagant supervillain Simon Phoenix. When Phoenix frames Spartan for mass murder, they are both sentenced to be cryogenically frozen. Decades later, Phoenix escapes custody and emerges into a transformed San Angeles, which has renounced violence, sex, swearing, and all other vices. Totally unprepared for Phoenix's brand of mayhem, the SAPD thaw out Spartan to hunt him down, but he has difficulty adjusting to his new G-rated surroundings. Demolition Man is a wild, cartoonish action movie with a biting wit that skewers puritanical values on both extremes of the political spectrum. Ooh, I like Sylvester Stallone, Wesley Snipes, and Sandra Bullock. Oh, I do sort of kind of remember Sandra Bullock being in there. It was in 1993. I did see this. Honestly, I don't remember much of it, but I remember liking it. So I feel like, I don't know if 95 is like, it seems really, really low on the list is what I'm saying. Okay. 97 Soylent Green. What? No idea what this is because it was out in 1973 and I did not see it. Although there are some movies that came out like way back in the day that I have seen. This is not one of them. Starring Charlton Heston, Edward G. Robinson, Lee Taylor Young. No idea who these people are. On to the next because didn't see it. Advantageous. I feel like I should have seen this. This came out in 2015 and it sounds interesting. Gwen, a single mother in a eerily familiar future, in which the wealth gap is massive, women are being nudged out of the workforce, and youth and beauty are valued above all other qualifications. With money running out and her daughter's future at stake, Gwen is offered an opportunity to reclaim her position at the biotech company she helped to build, but only if she agrees to have her mind swapped into a younger, more marketable body. Ooh. I haven't seen this, but it definitely sounds interesting. Like, why haven't I seen it? Is the better question. I don't know. All right. Whoa. Why is Independence Day 92? That seems a little low to me. Independence Day stars Will Smith, Bill Pullman, Jeff Goldblum, Vivica A. Fox. She was Will Smith's stripper girlfriend. Came out in 1996. And I really liked it. And I don't know how I feel about it being 92. I don't know how I feel about that. A fleet of alien spacecrafts descends upon the Earth, devastating cities around the world and crippling our defenses. In the aftermath of the attack, individuals across the United States attempt to pick up the pieces, reunite their families, and find a way to take the fight back to the invaders. It was good. That was like Will Smith in his like debut prime. That's when the summer became Will Smith's. Like every summer he came out with a hit. It started with Independence Day. I really liked it. I don't know how I feel about it being 92 on the list. Okay. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Okay. So here's the thing. 91, Donnie Darko. I feel like, no, I should see this. I haven't seen it. Maybe this is just be called all the sci-fi movies that Wanda hasn't seen. And I feel like I should be shamed a little bit. I feel like I don't know how I feel, but I feel like I should know these. I should have watched these. That's what I feel. But I hadn't seen this. It came out in 2001, with Jake Gyllenhaal, Drew Barrymore's in there. But I like I feel like I need to watch this. Troubled teen Donnie Darko has a vision of a man in a rabbit costume who tells him the exact time that the world will end. As he resumes the melodrama of his high school life, the puzzle pieces of his dark destiny begin to come together. Donnie Darko is an odd, occasionally disturbing high school drama that's even better if watched while you're still in high school. Well, I'm not. Very far from it. Very far from it. But I think I'm going to give it a shot because I actually do love high school dramas. Now we're getting somewhere. We're at 90 and, I've actually seen this. Again, I don't know how I feel about it being so low. Like, why is it so low? I don't know how I feel about that, but I've seen it. It came out in 2015. Matt Damon, Jessica Chastain, which I didn't realize how much I really liked her. Until like recently, I started watching more of her stuff. She was in 579. Was she in that? Or she was in a recent movie where she was an assassin. And I really liked her. And I noticed her in other things that I was just like, oh, I really like her. Anyway, Ridley Scott is the director. It came out in 2015. And it's basically, they go to Matt Damon's character, go on a mission to Mars, and then homeboy gets left by accident, obviously, but he's alone. And he's figuring out how to live there, and he did. And it's about watching him survive. But and them trying to rescue him. But it was so good. Like, they conveyed so much emotion. So again, I don't know how I feel about it being 90. Hello. Psh. Okay, 89 is Scanners, and I have no idea. No idea. I feel like I should, but I don't. 1981, no idea. So we're going to keep it moving. I know about this. 88, I know about this. Creatures from the Black Lagoon. Yeah, I do know about this, but guess what? Didn't see it. I mean, it came out in 1954, and it's just not one of those that I saw. But, number 87, Fast Color. Again, I know there are a lot of sci-fi movies out there, but I don't hate that it's at 87. Let me tell you about it. Fast Color is with, I'm so sorry. I'm saying her name wrong. Gugu Mbatha-Raw. Oh my God. I just butchered her name. I'm gonna learn how to say it. Lorraine Toussaint and, Sanaya Sidney. So this is about, first of all, it came out in 2018, and I believe you can still see, you might be able to still catch it on Amazon, but it's like poetry in motion. It's not a fast pace, but it's actually a very good movie. And I'm like, where's part two? Where's part two? I'm not mad at it being 87, only because I think people, you really have to wait till the ending to appreciate its awesomeness. That might be why I'm like, oh, it's okay, it's 87. But just a quick summary that Looper has, Ruth is a runaway who's inherited telekinesis abilities, have grown beyond her control. Forced to hide from a dangerous scientist, Ruth returns home to her mother and estranged daughter who helps her learn to master her powers and heal from a terrible past. Fast Color applies superhero tropes to an intimate family drama rather than an action adventure. That's true. It's not action packed. While there are a few eye-catching visual effects, the characters and the performances are the focus, and they perform. Like, let me tell you. So again, I don't know how I feel about it being 87, but is it good? It's very good. Very good. Another one. Interstellar. How is Interstellar 86? How? Interstellar stars Matthew McConaughey, Anne Hathaway, Jessica Chastain. There she goes again. It's a few other people. Directed by Christopher Nolan. Came out in 2014. The soundtrack alone, the score alone, I feel like it should not be 86. Sir, ma'am. The diabolicalness of, oh, you know who's in there too? The Matt Damon. He's in there too. They have a pretty good, they have a fabulous cast. In the, I'm really bothered that it's 86. 86 out of 98? No. I read, Earth is dying. Cooper is one of the last astronauts assigned to pilot what could be NASA's last attempt to find a new home and unlock the secrets of controlled interstellar flight. Failure means the end of humanity, but even success comes with a heavy cost. Relative physics mean that each day of the mission means missing years of his young daughter's life, while not as powerful at home as in As in its intended IMAX presentation, Interstellar boasts some of the most incredible visual effects in space set science fiction. Not only that, it was well written. Listen, 85 is Dredd. The fact that Dredd beats Interstellar is a little upsetting to my spirit. Who said this was a Dredd? Dredd. Dredd came out in 2012, and I'm gonna be honest, I barely remember Dredd. That is the truth. I barely remember Dredd. So, but I don't think it got a 79 on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't care. Like, are they doing this per Rotten Tomato ranking? No, absolutely not. I don't even feel like in it. All right, moving on. Melancholia. I have no idea what this is. 80% on Rotten Tomatoes. Kristen Dunst, Charlotte Gainsbourg, came out in 2011. For some reason, I've never seen it. And this is what I'm saying. Am I really a sci-fi head if I haven't seen so many of these movies? Granted, we're only up to 84. This is why we're going to have several parts to this list. Because, On her wedding night, deeply depressed Justine spies a new object in the sky that turns out to be a rogue planet hurtling towards our own. Certain that the end is near, she moves in with her sister Claire, with whom she has a contentious relationship. Melancholia is a drama that uses sci-fi elements as a backdrop, a metaphor for creeping dread made literal. While it contains stirring performances and cinematography, be aware that this film is deeply depressing, thus the name, thus why I will not be watching it. Scratch that. Because I don't watch things that are purposely depressing. I don't watch things that will purposely make me cry. I have given that up. That's just my personal thing. That's protecting my space. So I probably won't be watching this. Just the fact that you tell me it's deeply depressing. And I'm going to be honest, I'm big mad that anything beats Interstellar. I'm actually big mad that Interstellar is not like in the top 20 at this point. Yes. Okay, 25. 83, Forbidden Planet. Never seen it. Don't know what it's about. I'm going to keep it moving. Came out in 1956. All right. 96 on Rotten Tomatoes. Sir. 82, Dark City. I feel like I've seen this. What is this about? Maybe not. I don't recall. Came out in 1998. Okay, it got a 76 on Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, so it's not in order of Rotten Tomatoes. I was just curious. I don't know, Looper people. But it does look, I'm looking at the picture. It does look like I've seen it. Let's see. There's a time-tested recipe for a classic film noir. A detective, a lounge singer, a serial killer on the loose in a rainy city night where the sun never seems to come up. Most importantly, there's the sense that the world is a cruel place that uses people and throws them away. In Dark City, that's the last crucial theme, is literally true. As a man with no memory discovers that the people around him are under the thrall of otherworldly beings called the Strangers. Released a year ahead of The Matrix, Dark City treads much of the same stylistic and thematic territory, but in a more brooding, expressionistic idiom. Its theatrical release received mixed reviews and a tepid box office return, but the film has since grown into a cult classic. Be sure to seek out the 26 2006 director's cut, which reorders the story to better preserve its twist. Well, that's a good little tip. I might have to watch that. Okay, it's possible that I might have to check out Dark City. Okay, let's keep it moving. Space Sweepers. Again, never seen it. Let's see. It came out, Space Sweepers, is 81. Space Sweepers is 81. Never seen it. Came out in 2021. All right. 80 seconds. We're going to keep it moving because I've never seen it either. But it looks interesting. When did it come out? 1966. A mysterious company offers middle-aged banker Arthur Hamilton the chance to start his life over at the cost of his old one. Given a new name, new face, and identity, Arthur, now Tony, lives out a dream of restored youth under the watchful eye of his benefactors. Seconds is like a feature-length Twilight Zone episode, sporting its famous eerie tone and ironic but with superior cinematography, editing, and performances. It's looking black and white from the picture. Okay. 79. I don't know any of these. And the fact that I did not watch them, move Interstellar up. Period, point blank. Clearly this is going to be about Interstellar until I find something else that beats it. Sam Rockwell. I love Sam Rockwell. Sam Rockwell was in this and it came out in 2009. Didn't see it. Next, Andromeda Strain. I feel like there was a remake of Andromeda Strain because this one is 1971 is the original, but I'm pretty sure I watched the remake. I mean, maybe there was a remake and I watched it. Oh, it was a series. It was a series. Yes. Andromeda Strain was a series. I've seen that. Hadn't seen the movie. Movie came out again in 1971 and I feel like maybe I should have watched it. Moving on. 77. 77. Okay, now we're talking. I don't know how I feel about this being 77, but Contact. I'm going to be honest. I don't remember much about Contact. It came out in 1997, stars Jodie Foster, Matthew McConaughey, and James Wood. I remember I thought it was a pretty good movie though. I do remember that. Dr. Ellie Arrow has spent her life, Arroway has spent her life searching in vain for signs of extraterrestrial life. Her work finally pays off when satellites pick up a complex transmission that could only have come from an alien intelligence containing the schematics for a machine that appears to be some sort of vehicle. As construction begins for the machine, Arroway navigates the culture and political ramifications of a discovery and campaigns to be the first person to make direct contact with alien life. Based on a novel by famed cosmologist Carl Sagan. Oh my God, I was just looking up some lectures by Carl Sagan today. So it's just funny that his name came up. That's all. That's a shock. Contact is a mediation on science and faith, a probing character study, and a showcase for then revolutionary visual effects, blah, 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 blah. I did enjoy Contact. 77. I don't know. I feel like I'm going to rank all the ones that I know by myself. 76 is Cloud Atlas. And let me tell you something. Never saw it. I had my Sci-Fi card taken away just because I feel like I should have. Came out in 2012. Tom Hanks, Halle Berry. I don't know why I didn't see it. I think I wanted to. I think I did, but I didn't. I don't know why. Maybe I will because I actually like both those actors. But tell me why. Lilo and Stitch. Lilo and Stitch is on here. Y'all know what Lilo and Stitch is? Lilo and Stitch is a Disney animated feature. It came out in 2002. Never seen it. And I'm okay with that. Okay. I feel like now we are getting somewhere. Now we are getting somewhere with this list because 74 is Cloverfield 10 Cloverfield Lane. And it came out in 2016 after Cloverfield, before there's a third spin-off on Cloverfield that was released on Netflix. I can't remember the name right now. And it stars John Goodman, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and John Gallagher Jr. After a car accident, a woman wakes up in an underground bunker with two men who tell her that some sort of attack has rendered the outside world uninhabitable. But is this really the apocalypse, or is she merely at the mercy of an unstable, paranoid survivalist? As tensions rise and clues are revealed, she must consider the possibility that both could be true. Set almost entirely in a single location with just the three actors, 10 Cloverfield Lane is a taut thriller that proves that less can often be more, even in a science fiction film. And here's the thing. Here's why I enjoyed 10 Cloverfield Lane, because I had watched Cloverfield and I was like, oh my gosh, but it could have been anything. It could have been not linked with Cloverfield, but they did such a good job. The acting was on point. Like, it was enjoyable. It was good work. It was good work. And I don't mind it being where it's at. And John Goodman put on a performance. But it really was just the three of them in that room. But there was tension. There was and then the fact that you knew what happened with Cloverfield, for me, enhanced it. Now, we're probably only going to get to 70 because I want to talk about 73. And I mean, when you think about it, Little Shop of Horrors is a sci-fi, right? Like, it is so sci-fi. But I always just oh, it's a musical. Oh, it's so cute. The amount of times that I watched Little Shop of Horrors, it's problematic. I was a kid. It came out in 1996. Rick Moranis, Ellen Green, Stephen Martin, and my girl was in there too. Tisha Campbell. She was one of the singers. She was one of the Little Shop of Horror girls. Let me tell you, the amount of times I know the lyrics, I probably just need to watch it a couple of times to get right back on. Because when I tell you Little Shop of Horrors was my show, my movie, not my show. And yes, it is so sci-fi. But if you don't know, suddenly see more. All right, calm down, Wanda. I need to watch it again. But let me read what Lupa had to say about it real quick. Seymour is a flower shop clerk who's hopelessly in love with his coworker, Audrey. Audrey loves him back, but is trapped in an abusive relationship with a sadistic leather-clad dentist. Just thinking about it, come on. Okay, Wanda, focus. Seymour's luck seems to turn around when he happens across a strange plant, which he lovingly names Audrey 2. As Audrey 2 grows, so does Seymour's good fortune, but it comes at a cost. Audrey 2 needs to drink human blood to survive, and he's developing one heck of an appetite. Maybe Seymour can solve one problem with another. Anyone got a toothache? Little Shop of Horrors is a remake and a comedic riff on the mid-century B-movie that the sci-fi and horror variety, complete with a catchy era-appropriate musical numbers by songwriters Alan Menken and Howard Ashman, the same duo whose songs would help bring about the Disney Renaissance with The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, and Aladdin. Okay! Little Shop has been released with two different endings, the upbeat theatrical cut and the original director's cut that was deemed too grim for audiences. They're both good. I've seen both of them. Love Little Shop of Horrors. Feel like it needs to be more than 73. Okay, 72, Escape from New York. Kurt Russell, he looked good. Haven't seen it. Came out in 1991. Next, 71. The Disrespect. We're only going to get to 70 on this episode, but 71. Another Will Smith blockbuster. Another Will Smith summer blockbuster. But 71? 71? Obviously the list is long. But Men in Black, like the first one was an epic movie. It came out in 1997. Will Smith, Tommy Lee Jones. I don't know. Okay. Let me pause. Like, maybe it was because I was young, but I feel like 71, not for the Men in Black, not for what started off. Like, Will Smith was good, Tommy Lee Jones, the concept, the humor, it was just enjoyable. That's all I got to say. And then 70, because we're going to stop. We're going to stop at 70. I don't know what they got, 69 through 100. I don't know what they have. But Gravity at 70? Gravity came out in 2013, starring Sandra Bullock, George Clooney, Ed Harris. Like how? Astronaut Dr. Ryan Stone's first mission in space goes awry when a cloud of space debris destroys her spacecraft, leaving her and her mission commander, Matt Kowalski, alone in Earth's orbit. Stone and Kay now have less than 90 minutes to get to the shelter of the International Space Station before the debris field comes back around and tears them to shreds. Gravity takes what would have been a novel premise on its own and presents it in an even more interesting way, using a series of long takes to keep the audience attached to Dr. Stone's point of view. While it may not have many fans at NASA, critics and the film's professionals adored Gravity to the tune of 7 Academy Awards because Gravity was dope. It was moving, it was touching, it was all the things. And it kept you interested considering that it was mostly shot with just the two of them in space. It did score 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. And it's an hour and a half. Do you know, like they did a lot with working with an hour and a half. Come on, people. 70? Again, I don't know what's ahead on the list because this is like a blind reaction because I haven't peeked. I haven't cheated. But when I tell you the fact that I feel a little insulted. Again, I feel like all the movies that I watch, unless I think it was bad, they don't need to be this low on the list. They really don't. But if you enjoyed, please come back and listen to the rest and spread the word. It is lightv.com, a drop of happy, where you get any of your podcasts. And we're going to finish. We're going to have to do a part 2. We're going to have to do a part 2 because there is no way that this is acceptable. And I'm just curious what the rest of the list is looking like. Mind you, this was in 2022, so any new sci-fi obviously will not be part of the list. But I'm just curious. So, remember, the tip of the day is to read and use what you got to get what you've got, to manage what you've got going on. Live light, stress well. Thank you for listening. Spread the word in the world. I'm your host, Wanda Toby, and this is a Drop of Happy podcast.